Good morning. Welcome to Amy Toft Yoga. Today I'm filming from my beautiful backyard. So you might hear some neighbor sounds and you might see some cats. Let's begin in child's pose. So we'll come to our hands and knees. Sometimes it's nice to have your knees spread to the outside edges of the mat, toes touching. Sometimes it feels better to have your knees a little closer. So you just decide what you'd like to do. And before I go all the way down in child's pose, I want to show you a cooling breath. So this breath, it's July, it can be so useful all summer. So, in fact, I'm just going to sit down for a minute. You can join me if you want to. This cooling breath is, you breathe a big breath in with your mouth. Now, if you can roll the sides of your tongue up, great. If you can't, like me, you can just pretend like you're breathing through a straw. So we're going to do our inhale. We'll close our mouth and exhale out our nose. This is the cooling breath. Possibly the air flowing over the tongue cools the breath as we release through the nose. So let's try it again. Inhale like we're breathing through a straw. Close the mouth, exhale through the nose. And one more time. So we can continue those cooling breaths if you like them as we go into child's pose. Spreading our knees wide, hips toward the heels. Hands can come out front as our head goes on down to the mat, just letting ourselves sink and melt into the mat. The cooling breath could continue. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, let's take a few breaths to think about that. And you can stay in child's pose. I'm just picking up my head so you can hear me. I do have a theme for class today. It is, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. That is from a philosopher named Lao Tzu. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Love that. So today we're going to take our time. We're not going to hurry. But just come on up into tabletop when you feel ready. Fingers spread wide, shoulders over the hands. Knees are about hip width apart. I'm on the grass, which is a little bumpy, so sometimes I have to move around, find a new spot. And we'll just begin with cat and cow. Inhaling our heart forward, tailbone goes up. Exhale, tailbone curls down, belly button curls toward the spine, and we gaze down, rounding our back like a cat. Inhale, looking forward, breathing. Exhale, curling the tailbone down. Let's do a couple more of these on your own. Breath is great. Inhaling forward, tailbone up. Exhaling back. You for sure do not have to match me. Oh dear, there's some cat noise here. I don't know if you can hear that. Then we're going to flip our hands around so that our wrists are facing toward the front of our mat and our fingers are pointing back toward us. And we're just going to feel that stretch for a minute. Cat and cow for sure. So we can cow forward and cat back. It's just a small movement now. And if you hate this, you can just put your hands right back where they were. And then we'll all put our hands right back where they were. And we're going to do a heart melting pose otherwise known as puppy pose. So I might need to take off my glasses. But this is like a combination of down dog and child's pose. So everything stretches forward. Our forehead goes down, but our tailbone's up high in the air. Maybe our chest can even be down on the ground. Wow. Press our chin in, or just our forehead. Having a little earphone trouble. Good grief. So just breathe in this heart melting or puppy pose, letting the hips go high, just stretching the shoulders, and then we'll all walk our hands back, come back up to tabletop, breathing, spreading the fingers wide, tucking the toes under, and we'll just lift our knees up just an inch or so, and then our hips really high, downward facing dog. And we'll just notice how this first down dog feels. Maybe we like to pedal our feet, maybe gaze under opposite arms. Bending the knees can feel okay. We can relax our shoulders, and then we can straighten our legs. And then we'll just find a few breaths of stillness here. And then looking between the thumbs, we can walk our feet forward, or we can just step them one at a time, coming into forward fold, shifting our weight into the balls of the feet. Knees could be bent or slightly bent or straight. Hanging our head down, core engaged. And then bending our knees a lot. We'll put our hands on our knees. We'll just slowly rise on up. Coming into mountain pose. So mountain pose, we'll put our toes together to touch. Or our feet could be about 2/5 apart, about hip width apart. Either way is fine. We'll pull up through the arches of the feet. We can feel that engage our calves, our kneecaps lift, our thighs get tight, our tailbone slightly tucks under, our core's engaged, shoulders relax. They might want to come up, back, and down. My palms face forward, but depending on your anatomy, your hands could be more comfortable at the side. I will just stretch our chin and breathe. Mountain pose. That is opal. Our cats are all outside cats, so I can't put them in the house. Breathing in mountain pose. We're going to come forward. And we'll come into dancing Krishna. We'll just stop here right now and do our first little balance pose. So I'll take my left foot and put it behind my right with the knee bent. I'll bring my arms up over the head, and I'll take my left wrist with my right hand and just gently pull it over. Getting a lateral stretch here, looking up under the arm. Core's engaged. And then our hands come down. We'll just step together, find maybe a little flatter spot, and right leg comes behind the left. Arms come up. And we'll take hold of the right wrist with the left hand, pulling over sideways. Pulling to the left, just a gentle pull, and maybe we can gaze up under the right arm. Dancing Krishna, so fun. And then we'll come on up. Now we'll come up to the front of our mat, and we're just going to do a classic Surya Namaskar. Oh gosh, sorry. Classic one. And so we'll lift our arms up and over, Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half left, pressing into the shins. We're gazing forward, bringing our shoulder blades close together, and then letting our head come on down, forward fold. Hands come down, and we'll step back with the right leg, bringing the right knee down to the ground, keeping our right hand down on the ground. And we're going to lift our left shoulder and gaze up and over, opening the chest, trying to make our arms in one straight line. And then we'll bring both hands down to the mat, walk them up to the knee, come on up, our arms can go up, our gaze could go up. We could even press forward toward our knee a little bit if we like that, relaxing our shoulders. Both hands come down to the ground, curling the back toe under. We're just going to step our foot forward. Here we are in forward fold. Half left, Ardha Uttanasana, forward fold, Uttanasana, making sure our weight's in the balls of our feet, then bending the knees, lifting the arms, your choice of ways to rise up. Gaze all the way up, look at the thumbs, maybe a little back bend here. If you like that, then squeeze the glutes. And we'll just come on back down, forward fold, half lift. Hands down to the mat, step the left leg back, left knee comes down, left hand stays down, right arm comes up, trying to get our arms in one straight line. We'll gaze up at the thumb. Our first little twist feels so nice. Both hands come down to the mat, bending, tucking the back toe under. We're just going to step our foot forward. Here we are in forward fold, half lift, forward fold, bending the knees, we'll rise all the way up. Bringing the hands to the heart, we'll take a couple of breaths in mountain pose. Just breathing. And we're going to do that again, adding on just a little bit. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands come down to the ground. Right leg steps back. Right knee goes down. Right hand stays down. Twisting up and over with the left arm. Just one breath. Both hands come down to the mat. Now we're going to rise up. Oh gosh, did I forget this on the other side? I might have. We're going to rise up, pressing forward. Arms come up, gaze goes up. Breathing. And then we're going to flow this. We're going to come from here on Janayasana to half Hanuman. So we're going to stretch back, let our toes come up, possibly, and then forward. And then back, and then forward, and then back. And now our hands come down. We'll tuck the back toe, come forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, bend the knees, we'll rise all the way up. Okay, other side, and we'll fix what we forgot the first time, or I did. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, forward fold down. Inhale, half lift. Stretching so long. Taking that length with us as we fold down. Plant the hands. Step back with the left leg. Left knee comes down. Spinning up to the right, so our left hand stays down, our right arm goes up, and our gaze goes up. Taking a breath. Both hands come down, coming up to our knee. Arms go up, gaze goes up. We're going to hold this a little bit longer since we didn't do it the first time around. Gazing up. I love this beautiful tree. Relaxing the shoulders. Just 2 more breaths. And then from here on Vinyasa, we're going to stretch back into the half Hanuman. So we'll put our hands down. Sometimes I need to put my foot a little bit forward. I come down like that, stretch my foot up, and then forward, looking up, back, toe up, forward, and gaze up. And now we'll plant our hands. My foot back a little bit. Curl the back toe under. Step forward. Forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Bend the knees and we'll rise all the way up. Pausing to take a breath. Remembering that nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And now we'll do a classic sun salutation, a sun salutation A, or Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, the arms come up, a little back bend if you like that. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Stepping back with either foot. Then shifting forward into plank. Fingers spread wide, keeping the elbows close to the side, shifting forward. We'll lower all the way down to the mat. Gazing up, maybe a small little baby cobra right here. Breathing, looking down at the mat, toes go under, pressing back up, downward facing dog. We'll take a couple of breaths here, and then we've got a little variation. We'll lift the right leg high, and we'll bend the knee, but it's in scorpion, so our knee's still facing down, our foot is flexed. Then we can open the hip, back to scorpion, right foot down. Take a breath. Left knee bends up into scorpion, foot flexed, knee down. Open it up, turning the hip but keeping the shoulders level. Back to scorpion. Foot can come down. Gazing between the thumbs, we'll step or hop our feet forward. Forward fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Bend the knees, rise all the way up. Little back bend if you like that. And back to mountain. So we're working toward our peak pose, which is side plank. So everything we do is stretching the hips and getting ready. This is a shout out to Kat Hegberg and my daughter Elizabeth, who told me about this excellent flow from Kat. So doing some of the great ways to get into the poses that I learned from Kat. Okay, adding on, we're going to do a sun salutation B, but we're going to keep some of the things we just did. So sinking down into chair, gazing forward, core is engaged, maybe sink an inch lower, straightening the legs, folding down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping back, shifting forward, chaturanga. Maybe up dog here, pressing the tops of your feet or your knees into the mat. Maybe still in a cobra, depending on how your back feels. Tucking the toes under, hips go high, down dog. We'll just breathe for 2 breaths. I'm going to do my legs opposite so you can see what's happening. So we'll inhale the left leg up with the knee bent, scorpion like we did before. Open the hip. Back to scorpion. And now I'm going to bring that knee into my chest and then stretch my foot out to the right side. So the side of my foot is out off the mat. Then I'm going to lift my arm up into rock star. The lifting the arm up part is optional. Hands come down, bring my foot back up, and then set it down. Right knee bends into scorpion. We can open the hip, or we don't have to. Back to scorpion, bringing the knee into the chest. Leg stretches out to the left, and arm comes up into rock star if that's okay. Hands come down, back to down dog. Take a breath, and then upper step forward. Forward fold, half lift, forward fold. Bending the knee, we'll rise all the way up. We're going to stop for a moment here to do a little standing cat and cow. This is a tricky balance. You'll probably see me put my foot down a few times. That's okay. This is all about the feel of it, the movement of it. So I'm going to shift my weight into my right foot, spread the toes wide, pull up through the arch, feel that leg engage. Bending the left knee, I'll just pick it up. Take a moment to get my balance, find a drishti, a place that's not moving. And then I'm going to curl my knee toward my nose. Curl my nose down toward my knee. This is the cat part. And then I'm going to open up, letting my foot come back, letting my shoulders go back. Chest lifts, cow part. Slow, nature does not hurry. Curling back down. And open. Just do these on your own. Breathing in. Breathing out. When we get to the last one, we'll just pause for a moment. Feeling so strong and tall and beautiful. Remember, it's not about how it looks, but how it feels. And then on our choice, we'll put our foot down. We might hula our hips a little bit. And then we'll spread the toes of our left foot, lift up through that, through the arch, feeling that, and slowly finding a drishti, something that's not moving. Pick up our right knee, curling down toward it, curling our nose down, curling our knee up, our belly button goes toward our spine, and then lifting everything back. Shoulders, chest, even the head lifts a little bit, foot goes back, and then curling back in. Just do this on your own breath, on your own time. It can for sure take more than one breath to do it. Slower is harder. Coming in and coming back out. And then taking our time, holding that last one a little longer. And then letting the foot come down. So now we're going to do another sun B with a little crescent with a little twisting. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Inhale, our arms come up. We look up and we just sit down. This is a more straight back kind of chair. Pressing our knees together. And then slowly straightening our legs, coming on down, letting our head hang, half lift, hands go down to the mat, stepping back, coming into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and then down dog. You can always skip that vinyasa, just meet us in down dog, you know we're going there. Looking up at the right thumb, we'll step the right foot forward, keeping the back toe down and the heel up. We'll just curl up to crescent lunge. Arms go up, gaze goes up. Taking a breath. Bringing our hands to our heart. We'll twist high up, gazing back over our right thumb. Hands come to the heart. Hands go down. Step back. Down dog for a breath. Looking at the left thumb, we'll bring our left foot forward. Staying up on our back toes, we'll just curl on up. Arms come up. Shoulders relax. Breathing. Crescent lunge, we can look up. Bringing the hands to the heart, we'll twist to the left. Looking out over the left thumb. Hands come back to the heart. Hands go down to the mat. Stepping back. Down dog. We breathe here for 4 breaths. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Just noticing how this down dog feels when we find some stillness here. And then looking at our hands, we can hop or step our feet forward. Forward fold, half lift, forward fold, bend the knees and rise all the way up. Another flow here. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, forward fold, like a beautiful swan. Swan dive down. Forward half lift. Forward fold. Hands come down to the ground. Step or hop the feet back. Chaturanga. Or skip it. Meeting in down dog. Lifting the right leg high, we'll step it forward. This time our back foot pivots 45 degrees and we rise up to warrior 1. So our hips are facing the front of the mat, arms up, shoulders relaxed, maybe sinking a little lower, pressing into the back side of our back foot, the outside. Bringing our hands to our heart, we'll open up to warrior 2. So our shoulders are right over our hips, and we're relaxing them. Then letting our left hand slide down our leg, we'll bring our right arm up over our head, gaze up, reverse warrior. Then back to warrior 2, we'll bring our hands behind our back, face forward, let our knuckles go straight down, gaze up, and we'll humble our warrior, bringing our shoulder and our head to the inside of our knee. Maybe we lift our arms up off our back. Letting our thumb come back to our sacrum, we'll press, looking down on our front foot, coming back up to warrior 2, then straightening the front leg, shifting forward, down to triangle. Most important thing is that our arms are in a straight line, not that the arm up, it doesn't matter as much as just opening our shoulders in a straight line. Then we'll look back at our toe, press into our feet, come on back up, warrior 2, windmill our arms back down to the mat, but this time both hands are on the inside of our foot, coming into lizard. So lizard could be up here on your palms. We could bring it down to our forearms. We can even let our knee come down to the mat if we need that, wherever we are. We're just going to press back up, let our foot come back, and here we are in down dog. We'll inhale the left leg high, gaze forward, step it forward. Now the right foot pivots to 45 degrees as we rise up to warrior 1. So bending the front knee, Gazing up, shoulders, hips facing forward, shoulders relaxed, pressing our weight into the outside of the back foot. Warrior one. And then opening up to warrior two. Our feet stay pretty much the same way, but our hips are now open to the side, shoulders over the hips. Gazing softly over the front fingers. And then letting the right hand slide down the thigh, we'll just reverse the warrior up and over. I have this nice little branch here. Then back to warrior two. We'll bring our hands behind our back, press our knuckles down. Our hips are facing forward now. Gaze up. Front knee still bent. And we'll hang our head down over, bringing our shoulder to the inside of the knee. Kind of the side of our chest can be resting on our thigh. And our head's just hanging, and our arms could be up. Humble warrior. Then looking at our foot, we'll just rise on up. Coming back to warrior two. Straightening the front leg. Shifting forward. Coming on down to triangle pose. Your hand does not have to be on the ground. It could be on your leg, on your knee, on your thigh. Just trying to open our shoulders. And looking back at the front foot, pressing down, coming back to warrior two, windmilling the hands down to the inside of the left foot. We're up on the back toe, and we slide on down into lizard. So a lizard can be hands right here, could be forearms on the ground, knee could come down, or knee could be up. And then we'll all just come back up to, I'm sliding off the back of my mat. We'll all come back up to lizard, higher lizard, and then step our foot back. Coming into down dog, we'll just breathe here for 4 breaths. Looking at the thumbs, step or hop the feet forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, bend the knees, and we'll rise all the way up. So one more flow to take us to our peak pose, which is side plank. Inhale, our arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands go down to the mat. Stepping on back. Coming into plank. A nice chaturanga. Up dog. And then down dog. So again, I'm going to do this with the left leg first so you can see what I'm doing. We'll just lift the left leg high. Bend it into scorpion, so it's still straight behind me. Then I'll pull that knee into my chest, stretch my foot out to the side, coming into rock star. Hands come down, knee comes back in, and I'll just step my foot forward, so it's the same foot. Come up to warrior two, and we'll shift into half moon. So stretching forward, bring our hand down to the ground, press into the front foot, lift up the back leg, open it up, straighten the front leg, possibly gaze to the side. Half moon, back to warrior two, keeping the hand on the ground. Okay, then we're going to pivot both our feet. Wait a minute. I need to put, okay. Putting the right hand on the ground, we're going to pivot both our feet to the right. So that my left leg is bent, my right leg is straight, and I come to side plank right like this. You can stay right here, or if you can be fancier, you can stretch your leg back or even hold your foot up. But that's enough side plank for me, so I'm going to bring my hand back down. I'm going to shift both my feet, come back to down dog, take a little breather. Then I'll bend the right knee straight up to scorpion. Bring it into my chest, kick it out to the side, rock star here, both hands down. Bring my knee back in, step it forward, come up to warrior two, and right away we're going to shift down, coming into half moon on this side. So my hands will come down, I'll shift my weight forward, lift my back leg, straighten my front, kind of, pretty straight. Maybe open my hand, maybe gaze over to the left. And then we'll let the back leg come down. We'll keep both hands on the mat. Planting the left hand, we'll shift both feet to the right. So just flip over onto the outside of my left foot. And then I can lift up my arm right here, side plank. Again, if you can stretch this leg back, if you can grab that, all good. That's enough for me. Hands down, shifting my feet back. This is kind of the tricky part. Step back, downward facing dog, 4 breaths. From here, I'm going to walk my hands back just a little bit, and then I'm going to walk them around so that my feet are spinning too. And now my feet are facing the back of the mat pretty much. My hands are facing the back of the mat, and this is twisted dog. Such a great stretch for the IT band. Such a great lengthening. Let my head just sink on down. And then I'm gonna walk on back, shifting my feet, and go the other way. So my feet are just coming around with me as I twist around to the left. Both my toes are facing the back of the mat, and I just let my head hang on down. So weird, but so good, right? Okay, shifting back around, walking my hands back forward. We're just going to, from here, we're already in down dog, so we'll just come straight into pigeon. So we'll bring our right knee right behind our right wrist, let our right toes come a little closer to the left side of the mat, if that feels okay. Then we'll just stretch the left leg down, top of the foot comes down, walk our fingers up, gaze up, engaging the core. We'll just come on down to pigeon. So your head, it's nice if your head can rest on something, but if it just can't, you could be right here in Sphinx, breathing, great. Or you could make some little blocks with your fist, put your head on, or the head could be on the hands, or the head could even be down on the mat. And we're just going to take some breaths here wherever you are, breathing into pigeon. You can feel all the work we did in this hip, all the rock stars, the side plank, good for us. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And we'll take 2 more breaths, not hurrying. And if you'd like to stay in pigeon longer, you just do that. But if you'd like to come on back up, we'll just come up to our fingertips, gaze up again. Now, so my front knee is bent, my right knee, and I'm just going to walk my hands a little bit and look over my right shoulder, just for a nice little twist. Then I'll plant my right hand down, bend my left knee, reach back, maybe get my foot, maybe not, and maybe look over that shoulder. Both hands come down. We'll tuck the back foot under. If you just want to switch out this by changing knees, that's okay. Or you can tuck your toe under, press into that leg, lift the other leg high. Sometimes it feels good to just move it around a bit. Then come into down dog. I love the feel of down dog after doing pigeon. The lengthening in the back of the leg, feeling everything get so long. And then looking at my left wrist, I'll just put my knee right behind it. Let my toes come out to the right side of the mat. Stretch my right leg down so long. Top of the foot comes down, walking up onto my fingertips, gazing up. And then finding pigeon on this side. Really normal for both sides of pigeon to be different. So maybe my pigeon on this side is on my forearms. Maybe I'm making a block with my fists. Maybe I'm setting my head on my hands. Or maybe my head's all the way down. There's not a right or a wrong. It's not how it looks, it's how it feels. While we're breathing here, while we're not hurrying, let's take a moment to be thankful for our body the way it is right now. Not the way we want it to be, not the way it used to be. Right now, our body's doing its very best to do pigeon for us. And let's be thankful for that. Let's do 3 more breaths. And stay in there longer if you want to, but if you're ready, just walk your fingers up, come up on the fingertips, gaze up. And then we'll walk our hands over to the left, look over the left shoulder, hands over to the right, or left hand kind of plants in the middle. That's the way it feels good for me. Bending the right knee, reaching back, taking hold of the heel or the toe, maybe glancing over the shoulder. And then gently letting go of that, pressing the hands into the mat, curling the back toe under. You can do this way, but you do not have to. You can just come onto hands and knees and then seated, because that's where we're going. But you can curl the back toe under, lift the left leg high, wave it, and let it breathe in down dog. And if you're here on down dog with me, let's enjoy this. It's our very last down dog. Long and strong. And then looking at the thumbs, we'll just let our knees come on down to the mat. Crossing our legs behind us. We'll just sit down, or sit down any way you want to. You don't have to do it like that. So we've done a lot of opening the hips. We're just going to do some west side stretching. So west side is the back side of the body. We're going to flex our feet. Arms will come up. Our gaze will go up. We'll engage our core. We'll just stretch down over our feet, gazing forward. So if you cannot reach your feet, that is just fine. This is all about stretching the back. It has nothing to do with your feet. So maybe holding the ankles, the shins, anything that feels good, and then just letting your head come down. Relaxing the head, but the core is still working, squeezing in, protecting the lower back. And then gazing forward and coming all the way up. So I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to cross it over my right. If this doesn't work for you, it could stay on the inside of your right. And flexing the foot, sitting up tall, I just like to hold this left knee and pull it toward my right shoulder. But some people like to do their elbow over. Then I'm going to bring my left hand around, press my fingers into the ground like a little teepee. Make sure my front foot is still flexed to sit up so tall. Then gaze over my shoulder. So my core is doing the twisting, my torso is doing the twisting. My neck is just along for the ride. And then I'll come on back. Straighten my left leg. My right foot can come up and over, or right on the inside. That's just fine too. Bringing the right knee into the left shoulder. Flexing that front foot, sitting up really tall. Right hands come around. Inhale, exhale, I just gaze back, twisting my torso like I'm wringing out a towel. One more breath. And then I'll just gaze forward. We're going to come on down to our backs now, doing a little yogi bicycle. But to do that, we want to get our most out of it. So we're going to flex our feet like a Barbie. So Barbie's feet, the balls of the feet are really pointing out. If you want to flex your feet like that, it's flexed such a hard flex that our toes are separating and coming back up. That's the flex we want. Okay, so we're going to come on down to our back. One elbow at a time, just let our head drift on down. Bending our knees. We don't have to Barbie flex yet. We're just going to press our lower back into the mat and then relax. So it's cat and cow on our back. Pressing our sacrum down and then relaxing, letting that natural curve behind our waist come back up. We'll just keep doing that a few more times on your own breath. Does not have to match me. Press. That tips our whole pelvis up and then down. Level. Tipping the pelvis up and level. Okay, so now we're going to pick up our feet. We're going to Barbie them. So pressing out of the ball of the feet, bringing the toes on back. We'll put our hands behind our head, elbows facing straight up. And now we're going to flatten our back like we did before. Tipping the pelvis up so that our sacrum is flat. And then with our feet still Barbieing, we'll lift our head and shoulders. And we'll stretch one leg out and then the other, slowly. So lower is harder, slower is harder. If it hurts your lower back, come up a little higher. Still Barbieing the feet, pressing that ball of the foot out so hard, pulling the toes back, they're all spread apart. Lifting the head and shoulders maybe a little higher. Taking our time, nature does not hurry. This is how we get that lovely burn in our abs. Let's do 2 more on each side. Slowly. Still flexing so hard that we can feel it all the way up to our bum. Okay, then we'll bring our knees in, let our head come down. We'll just keep our arms where they are. Take a breath, relax our feet. Circle the ankles. Okay, Barbie flex one more time. Feet go straight up. Straight up. We're pressing the balls of the feet up into the sky. And then again, we're tipping up our pelvis, putting our lower back flat, lifting up our head and shoulders. Doesn't have to be super high. Shoulders are pointing straight up. Elbows are pointing straight up. And we're just holding this. Maybe we can bring our feet a little closer to our elbows. We're just breathing. This might be a really good time for our cooling breath. In through the straw, out through the nose. In like we're breathing through a straw, out through our nose with our mouth closed. Let's do one more. Let our head come on down. Bend our knees, just hug them into the chest. Our feet are relaxing. We can wiggle our toes around. Then letting the feet come on down to the ground. We'll stretch up into bridge. So first we'll make robot with our arms, pressing the back of our arms into the mat. Lift up our hips. Make sure our neck is stretched out long. Our arms can relax. We can wiggle our wrists around. I like to bring my hands out like Shavasana here. Pressing even higher. The shoulders are level. And then arms can come over the head if that feels okay. Coming up on the toes, one vertebrae at a time. We'll let the back and the whole spine come on down to the ground. Bringing our hands to our heart in prayer pose. One more little cat and cow on the ground. Pressing that sacrum down, tipping the pelvis up, and then relax. Hands can do whatever you want. If you want to breathe a couple more times like that. Okay. Bringing the feet out to the edges of the mat, we'll spread our arms out to a T, and then we'll just drop our knees one direction, keeping our shoulders level. We'll tip our head the other direction. Take a few breaths here. Notice how this feels. Then our knees can come back up, making sure our core is engaged to help. And our knees can just drift to the other side. Our head will just look the other way. One more time, bringing our knees straight up. And they'll go to the first direction we went in. For me, it's the right. And I'm going to pick up my right foot and set it on the outside of my left thigh. That just brings a little extra weight to the stretch. If that doesn't feel okay, just keep your feet down like you did at the beginning. But if it feels okay, you can tip your head over to the left. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then bringing the head to the center, we'll set the right foot down. Bringing the knees back up, using the core to help us. The knees go down to the left. Left foot comes up on top of the right thigh, using that weight to increase the stretch. Gazing out over anywhere to the right, or even closing the eyes. Again, if it doesn't feel good to have your foot on the thigh, just have both knees over. Paying attention to your own body is so important. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Then bringing the head back to center. Left foot comes down. Using the core, bringing the knees up and into the chest. Maybe rolling around here. Happy baby might feel good holding the feet. Any kind of happy baby. One leg goes one way, going the other way. Bringing the soles of the feet together. And then, just very gently, making your way to Shavasana. So, letting one foot come out to the corner of the mat, letting the other foot come out, the feet drift apart. No need to flex or do anything. Settling the hip bones, tucking the shoulder blades. Hands out, away from the body, palms up, possibly. Neck is long. You may want to drift your eyes shut, or if you're outside like me, you could just look up at this beautiful tree. I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see what I see. Shavasana, where our bodies are enjoying all this beautiful things we just went through, feeling the stretch, remembering it. Our minds are absorbing the patterns. Our breath is remembering how great it feels to breathe long and slow, or maybe to do with a cooling breath. And our spirits are remembering nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And before you think to yourself, well, I'm not nature, you are. So, if we do what matters most, things are going to be okay. Sometimes taking our time accomplishes more than rushing through things. Shavasana, enjoy. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Nam, Sun, Nam. You can stay right where you are as long as you like. But if you feel ready to move on with your day, you could begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, possibly roll your head from one side to the other. A full body stretch might feel good here. Taking your time, nature does not hurry. You might want to bend your knees and come to one side, making a little pillow with your arm for your head. Eyes could still be closed. Take a few breaths there. And whenever you're ready, it doesn't have to be now, make your way to a comfortable seat. Eyes could still be closed. Hands could come to the heart. Let's just take a few breaths of gratitude, noticing what we're thankful for today. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.